up? It's your girl Cameron and I'm back with another video after this long hiatus. So we got a lot of topics to talk about. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like the video, share the video, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Cameron Music TV, and comment down below on what you think about what we talking about here today. Alright, so guys, we gotta talk about Jussie Smollett, okay? Just because my wedding was going on, that does not mean that I was removed from what was going on. I'm gonna try to go in order the best that I can. I did not think that at this point it would still be going on. The story would still be developing. And so I'm gonna try to pace myself through this because I still don't know how I fully feel about it yet. So anyway, so before January 29th, to be exact, Jussie Smollett was attacked. All right, he was walking, he had went downstairs to go to Subway in Chicago, and while he was going there, two guys yelled empire, called him the F word, the gay slur, called him the N word, racial slur for black folks, and they supposedly had beat him up, put a noose around his neck, poured chemicals on him. He took himself to the hospital and everybody was pissed. All right, I can just remember feeling like, like he's a celebrity. For this to happen to a celebrity, a gay black celebrity, it was just making me feel so uneasy because I have a lot of gay friends. I have a lot of black friends. I am black. And just to know that you're not that far from being able to be touched, basically. So I remember just being really upset. A lot of celebrities were really upset. People rallied behind Jussie Smollett, you know, saying I stand with you, posting videos. Everyone's outraged on all the talk shows and everything. And I believe that was the last post that I posted on Instagram. Well, as time went on, developments started to come out that basically the story wasn't making sense. It wasn't matching up. The story was changing a lot. Were they masked? Were they wearing MAGA hats? Did they say this? Did they say that? Oh, you were on the phone. Wait, it was ice. It was the polar freeze going on. So how were you outside? You know, a lot of things started to come into play, and I remember just thinking like, oh, they probably just don't believe him because he's black and gay, and why would this really happen? And because it's Trump supporters and MAGA involved. And somewhere along the line, we get this image of two hooded people walking down the street. They're on the camera. You know, the cops figured these two people were involved in the attack, and they turned out to be two black people, two Nigerian people. So it was like, okay, Jussie, if these men were masked, you know, you can still see, you're right, you can still see eyelids, you can probably still see hands, you can probably still see like some indication that they're white or black or brown or whatever. And so for him to say that they were white MAGA supporters or MAGA, people were like, already outraged at that community because the tone of our country right now is to be upset with MAGA anyway because of all of the negativity that it pulls out, all the racism. You know, we saw the kids, even kids, supporting MAGA, you know, kind of egging on this Native American guy, and he's crying and like so MAGA is almost becoming like a gang, okay? And that might be a little of a stretch, but still, we know what it is. Okay, so for him to say that, it was just like, okay, these two guys were black. All right, I'm gonna just process this. Okay, maybe he didn't realize they were black. Maybe it was late. Maybe, you know, maybe he didn't want to tell because they were black and he didn't want, you know, attention on it, you know, more black on black crime. I don't know, but at this point, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm just like, why else would he lie about it? So then it comes out that he paid them with a check and that they were trainers for him or on the set. They seen him on the set of Empire before. And I remember wondering, like, why didn't Taraji P. Henson come out? Why didn't, you know, any of the other co-stars from Empire come out and say anything. I think Terrence Howard did. But Taraji P. Henson, like, even the video I posted, they're always playing back and forth. So when she didn't come out with anything, I just figured, you know, maybe she reached out to him, maybe she called him. But I'm just like, something is not making sense. And at this point, actually, I take that back. At that point, he had said something because it was a couple days after the attack and he was like performing. So we got the image of him in the hospital bed, you know, on FaceTime with Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels is upset about the whole thing. He's on his way down there. Everybody's getting increasingly more and more upset, right? And so then he's performing. After his performance, he pulls out this paper and he's talking, you know, he got to get some things off his chest. He got to clear some stuff up. And he's saying that the lawyer probably doesn't want him talking. But basically saying that he fought back and he wasn't this, he was that, and he's the gay Tupac. And I was just like, okay. Even if this was true, even at this point, it's like, okay, he's overcoming. You know, he don't want nobody to feel like he's lying about anything, so let me set the record straight. And I feel like a hero because I survived this attack, right? So I was still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So next, this is Chicago PD, right? So they're notorious for, you know, the violence and the brutality and, you know, not getting things correct. And, you know, so people were leery on believing the police. But then it's like, Jussie Smollett, why? Like, why? And that's kind of where I'm at. What is the why? Because there was a letter that was sent to Fox, kind of, you know, looked like a kidnapping letter, like a threatening letter to Jussie, and that didn't really get all that much attention, but we noticed it was in connection with this. So it was like, they were trying to say that he wrote the letter himself, then he paid these guys to beat him up, and I'm just like, but what is the outcome? So they're saying that he wasn't getting paid enough on Empire. He wanted to get paid more. Another theory is that he had heard that he was going to be cut out of the season or cut out of the show. And so to sustain his spot, he did this. But I'm just like, but how would this sustain your spot? Because if you get hurt, you're not going to be like, I don't really know. Because even in the previews right now for the season, Andre's the one who's about to die, and I don't know his real name, but Andre's the one who's about to die, because you guys know last season they kept showing this casket, so we don't know who's in it yet. And now it's come out that they cut Jussie from the rest of the season, so I'm like, Jussie has yet to come out, from what I could see, and say, because even in the Robin Roberts interview, he wasn't too emotional to me. He kind of just looked pissed off. Like, why don't y'all believe me? Why am I having to defend myself? And I still, even at this point, did not feel like what he's saying is wrong. Like, maybe he's just over the hurt. Maybe this is something that happened, but he's used to this type of thing happen. Being a gay black male in America, a lot of gay black males are not as weak as a lot of people like to portray them to be. Most of the time, these men have fought on playgrounds coming up. They fought siblings who put them in a type of position because they made them feel weaker or inferior. They fought cousins. They fought church members, you know, verbally, their parents verbally. So they are very secure in who they are by the time they become like 27, you know, on up to 30 years old. So they not really, most of them don't be too pressed when people attack them like that. It could be traumatic, but it's such a normalization in the community that it's not like a huge thing when it happens, which is very unfortunate. So when I seen him like just looking pissed off and, you know, telling his story, and like, I still was not getting this whole like, I don't believe him vibe. He made this up. So I think we're all caught up on everything, y'all. At this point, I was walking down the aisle. I still was not worried about anything going on with Jussie Smollett. So I logged on. And they were saying that he had definitely been arrested. And I was just like, okay. Like, so between him, R. Kelly, and this mess with him yelling at Gayle King, and the Michael Jackson leaving Neverland, you know, thing going on, it's just like, what is going on? You know, there's a lot of theories that people are trying to take the black man down right now. And I'm like, we could go with that theory, but at the same time, like, people do stuff. People have to pay. There are consequences for what you do. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about the Jussie Smollett case, because on Friday, while I'm working, the grand jury indicts him on 16 counts of felony charges. I'm like, is there something that I missed? Okay, so I don't believe in, comparing crimes or saying this person did this, they only did that, or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, are you trying to make an example out of him? Are you trumping up charges because, the MAGA part was mentioned, and, I can understand hate crimes being a huge thing, right? Because there's a responsibility that a celebrity has, number one, to, set the example. So then number two, for you to target a community that's already problematic, it's like you're playing on something and you're playing with fire. You're playing with the devil, basically, all right? So how do I feel about this whole situation? I think I've kind of explained that. I'm very confused. I want to know the why. I want to hear Jussie say, listen, it's problematic as hell, but I just needed a raise. It's problematic as hell, but whatever. Okay? Because the fact that he hasn't come out and he hasn't said anything, he's such a laid back, cool, genuine, sincere type of person. It's just hard for me to grasp, doing something like this so messy, writing a check. Some parts of it just does not make sense. You're gonna write a check where you could clearly be tracked or tied to what you're doing, and then there's obviously cameras, there's obviously, technology, there's text message history, and at this time where people are saying this happened to me, it's no longer victim, ooh, let's go victim, we're gonna rally behind the victim. It's now we gotta support both sides. We're gonna prove, that suspect innocent, and we're going to take care of you. They're no longer just taking words for it because you're a celebrity or because you were hurt. They're going to truly investigate the case. But at the same time, with all the history that Chicago has, and I don't know much of it, but their reputation is kind of why in this one case with this one celebrity, you guys all of a sudden got it right? Because even in the Surviving R. Kelly, there were certain cops that looked the other way because it was R. Kelly. And those were Chicago police, Chicago PD. So it's just kind of really convenient that they got it all wrapped up nice and tight with a nice pretty little bow. 16 counts of felony charges for Jussie Smollett, but people be shot in the streets and they don't know what happened, who did it, or nothing. So I'm very skeptical, and it's not because I just love Jussie Smollett so much. It's because I'm learning in life, everything is not so black or white, right? There's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of things. And then, like Kev on stage, Mrs. Kev on stage said, two things can be true. So it's he could have very well been in a situation where he paid somebody to do some stuff. Maybe they took it too far, or, maybe he was in a situation where, some people are trying to say he was trying to get his hookup on. And it's are y'all doing that because he's a black gay male? It's just so many theories that bother me. So these are my questions for y'all. Is Jussie ever going to come out? Is he going to come out, put out a statement, get in front of his webcam? Is he going to say anything? Because the way his family rallied behind him, the way everybody rallied behind him when we didn't know many details, all we knew is that he got beat up. It's we're kind of owed an explanation. You owe me an explanation for my post. Okay, my Instagram post rallying behind you, and ain't nothing really happened. I need to know what's going on. Okay, another question I have is why? Why all of this? Empire comes back this week. Were you just bored? Why all of this for just a little of that? That's what I want to know next. I got a couple good girlfriends who want to know, are those 2 Nigerian men single? I'm good, I'm married, but they would like to know. These are questions we need the answers to, right? Okay, so I gave my 2 cents on Jussie Smollett. You guys leave down below what you think about this whole debacle and all the details. And, I'm trying to piece it together the best way that I can. It seems like it's over. It seems like it's pretty cut and dry, and he did it. It's done. He's being punished. And maybe they're just not disclosing details because they're embarrassing, or, you know, they'll incriminate other parties, or I don't know what it is. But it just, something just don't feel right. Okay, when he sat down with Robin Roberts, and I just feel like I have to say more about this situation because I was, you know, off doing my own thing, and I wasn't really into what was going on. 16 counts of felony charges for lying about a hate crime. I just don't know that it's fair. Don't hurt me. I just don't know that it's fair, because 16 counts. I would really like. I need more details. That's what I'm saying. I need more details, because it's just kind of like, whoa. That's my whole take on Jussie Smollett. You guys are more than welcome to comment down below what you thought or what you think about this whole debacle. I'm Camray, and this is Camray Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time.